Good afternoon. It is 12:20 and we are at the Emerald Creek Garnet Area. We've been here for the morning and it's just started to rain pretty good. And so far we've got quite a few garnets. I found about 11.5 ounces. My wife found 7. And then 11 over there. You have the biggest one. Would you mind pulling that out? This is the biggest one that I found so far. It's I don't know, 1.5 inches or so. That'll be worth cutting, I think. And the largest one of the day so far, that's pretty hefty too, is that guy, which, oh dear. So here's the largest star garnet of the day, potential star garnet, I suppose. The garnets of the area come from a phyllite/schist of Mesoproterozoic age, which is, I think, dated to about 1 billion years for the metamorphism that formed the garnets. I think there's two periods of metamorphism, where one was at about 1 billion and one was 1.3 billion or so. And if my phone cooperates, we'll go down and check out the little hut. The raindrops make the phone focus on weird areas, unfortunately. We're up in the picnic area. The parking area is about a quarter mile down that way. You have to park and then walk up. Although if you have a disability, I believe you can drive up and get dropped off. And you approach the little Forest Service booth here, and they'll check you in. You sign a permit for mining. You can take a pound out per day. So at the site, they have a little museum display type thing with some examples of things that you could potentially find here. Get out of the rain. So these are some star garnets cabbed up. If you had a bright light, you could see the stars on there. And there's some garnet sand.
I'll go open those ones right there. Yeah. We'll keep the sifting area.
So there's the mica schist, the parent material that these come from. Some more examples. So after you get checked in, you can grab a couple of buckets and you just grab material from the pile up there where they replenish it, I think, every year. Take the material from there, sift it over there, and then bring it down to the sluice where they have a generator and a little settling pond for sediment, and run it through those sieves there, sift it out, and look for garnets. And I'll run you through a couple of examples if the rain allows. Show you the process and what we find. Hello, ready for round 2?
Yep.
We need to grab shovels since they put them all away. So if you get here at a certain time, the shovels will probably already be out. And you just got to pick a spot. If it's raining out, they said if you dig down and then horizontal, it's more likely to be dry. Where are you going?
This way?
That way. Ooh. Yep, it's a big old quartzite. At least earlier it was drier in the top, but they kind of backfilled some of the holes, so the wet stuff is now in the holes. Oh, pretty straightforward. Fill a bucket. Toss big ones aside. Don't need to bother with them. And we'll fill up the buckets and get going. So this two-person sifter is probably the best one that we've found. If you have two people, it helps. Although these are so muddy, it's still clogging, even though that's a probably half-inch sieve there. If you are to come, you are allowed to bring your own materials or equipment to some degree. I made a sifter that's over there because I only used 1/4-inch screen, but it didn't work out very well. A little too small, especially when it's muddy.
Last one morning.
Oh. You have water in there?
Yeah.
I'm sure you didn't just get mud.
Well, mud and rocks from the looks of it.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that was mostly mud. And this area is a quagmire.
Okay, that's right. Okay.
But we got our buckets sifted rocks, so we'll go over to the sieve now, or the sluice, and sift them, or clean them off. So once you have your box of rocks, toss a few into the sieves here, or the whole thing, since we didn't get a lot of rocks there. And lower it down into the water. That's one way to do it. My preferred method actually is, it's fine. My preferred method is to do that once it's started to get some water. If you turn it diagonal, then it collects water a little bit easier.
Yep, new hole starts out okay.
And we already got another one. Yay. And then once they're sifted, you just set them up on the pillar like that, have it facing you. If you have them kind of shunted to the top, then you can kind of drag them down as you go through. But you'll also get a lot of, where the matrix material with the garnets in them. I think I just got one little guy out of that one. Not too good compared to Morgan.
I don't know that that's a garnet.
That might be yeah, I think that is.
Yeah.
It's just kind of etched or eroded.
Okay.
Any more after that first one?
Right there.
Little pile. That's a nice big one too.
Yeah. Couple has some edges on them and a couple of pieces.
That's the gist of it. Once you're done with the rocks, you dump them into a bucket. Oop, I zoomed in 2 times. Dump them into a bucket, and then they go into a waste pile over there behind that sign. And then you start the process over again. Got another little bucket load. So that bucket about half full, and then that one 3/4 full. Made enough to do probably 2 sifting runs in this. So there's one there in the middle of the frame. That's a pretty big one. So there's the one that popped out at us. A fragment of a larger one for sure.
I was a Navy guy.
There's a little one. So just 2 out of that little run here. We'll have another one here in a second. We just got a couple.
This is just a cool rock.
Yeah, cool rocks, huh?
Yep. I don't think that's one.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Here's one. Little guy. Oh. There's another one with a little bit of a face on it. There's a flat one. See the purple in it? And that's it. 3 little guys out of that one. I moved to a new area and already found a few good ones. This one has a mostly complete face on it. I think it's just missing one side right there. But that one might star up. So we'll sift this and see what comes out of it. There's one right there. A little fractured up, but got some crystal faces on it. Might be able to cut it in half, trim off the excess end there, and see what happens. That's what I found out of our bucket from that one site so far, and there's still another load to go. So that's a pretty promising area. It's really hit or miss where you might find something up there, but once you find a good spot, it's probably best to keep going with that until it starts running out. Up close, before you sift it and wash it off, you never know what might be inside there. That actually might be a garnet. Yeah, that is actually a garnet. But you never know. And you can try to look at the ground and see if anything pops out at you in terms of a crystal face or something, but you'd be pretty hard pressed to find much of anything. If you're a sand collector, you can come here and collect garnet sand to your heart's content. There's purple everywhere. Well, the sun's out now, and everybody's having a lot more fun, I think. There's quite a crowd now that everything's rolling. How are you doing on the latest run here? Find any?
I got these.
Got a couple? Yeah, your dad has 6 or so from the last ones.
He's doing pretty well.
Yeah. The big reveal. And immediately won.
Yeah.
That was a decent sized one too. It's 3:30, so we're on our last buckets. Talking to the camera. Yeah. Talking to the internet. Do you want to show them the big one that you just found? See, squirreled it away.
I already put it away. There we go.
That's a good one. The last bucket's got to have something good.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, there's one. It's a pretty complete one. This is Morgan's last bucket. Going with the agitation method, huh?
Yeah, I am. Someone told me it was the best way. I think. Oh, nope, that's tree bark.
Yeah.
There's one.
Ooh, yeah, that's got some good faces on it. Let's see. I don't see any jumping out at me for mine. I still got one more run to do. Well, it's 3:30. Everybody's packing up and finishing weighing out their finds for the day. I wound up with, I already forgot, 15 pounds, or 15 ounces. 15 ounces for the day, so that was kind of left half of the pile here. I think my biggest one for the afternoon was this one, which is also really nice. And the biggest one for me was this guy, which I guess kind of matches the other big one. So a few decent sized ones, although I think Doug still has the winner for the biggest garnet of the day.
2 ounces.
At 2 ounces. Ooh, I didn't get mine individually weighed. It wasn't big enough.
I just had fun.
Morgan had fun.